Pleased to have several dignitaries in the room, including our Port St. Lucie City Council Vice Mayor Jolene Caraballo, Councilwoman Stephanie Morgan, Councilman David Pickett, and Councilman Anthony Bana. We also have a representative from Congressman Brian Mast's office, Angel Robertson, Representative Dana Trabulsi's office, Maisha White, St. Lucie County Board of County Commissioner Chair, Jamie Fowler, Vice Chair Larry Leet, Commissioner Aaron Lowry, Commissioner James Claspy, St. Lucie County Administrator George Landry. From the City of Port St. Lucie and our leadership team, we have Chief Assistant City Manager Teresa Lamar Sarno, Assistant City Manager Christina Seuberger, and Deputy City Manager Kate Parmalee. From the Port St. Lucie Sports Club, we have founders Gustavo Suarez and Paulo Suarez. Mark McCullers with the McCullers Group. We have the teams with the Economic Development Council and the Treasure Coast Sports Commission here as well. And with a room this full, I am sure I missed a few people, and my apologies on that. On stage with me this morning, I am joined with several individuals, including the City of Port St. Lucie City Manager Jesus Morejo, Dan Holman, Chief Operating Officer for the United Soccer League, Agostina Galimberti, co-founder of Port St. Lucie Sports Club, Rick Hatcher, President and CEO of the Treasure Coast Sports Commission, Brad Keene, Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Port St. Lucie, Pete Tesh, President and CEO of the St. Lucie County Economic Development Council, and Shannon Martin, Mayor of the City of Port St. Lucie. At this time, please join me in welcoming Mayor Martin to the podium.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? So this is an extremely exciting day for the City of Port St. Lucie and our entire Treasure Coast region. For years, City Center, now proudly named Walton One, has stood as a symbol of both challenge and opportunity. It has seen tough times, but it has also carried great promise. And through it all, the city never lost sight of its master plan, a plan shaped by the people of Port St. Lucie, rooted in public engagement, and built around a shared vision for a vibrant community destination. That vision included a mixed use of office, commercial, retail, residential, sports and recreation, and entertainment uses. Elements that bring people together, energize our economy, and create lasting memories for families. Today, we see that vision taking shape right before our very eyes. So on behalf of our City Council, it is my honor to officially announce the beginning of an exciting new chapter as Port St. Lucie becomes home to a United Soccer League franchise and a 6,000-seat stadium that will be home to Port St. Lucie Sports Club. The United Soccer League will serve as a significant catalyst for revitalization of this east side and our city as an anchor for new growth and opportunity across Port St. Lucie, St. Lucie County, and the entire Treasure Coast. This project represents nearly $80 million in capital investment in new construction and will create over 200 jobs, with many average salaries at 124% of the St. Lucie County average wage. The impact will be felt immediately through these new jobs, activity, and investment, and the benefits will last for years to come as residents and visitors alike support our restaurants, hotels, beaches, businesses, and local shops. It will also enhance sports tourism throughout the Treasure Coast, further strengthening our regional economy. With the United Soccer League entering Port St. Lucie, we now stand alongside other great cities, such as Naples, Sarasota, Fort Lauderdale, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Charlotte, North Carolina, all of which are home to professional soccer teams. This project brings a new professional sport and a new energy to our community, as soccer has long been known to bring the world together like no other sport can, uniting people across cultures, languages, and generations. Not long ago, an opportunity like this might have passed us by, but not today, as Florida's 6th largest city, 3rd largest in landmass, and the heart of the Treasure Coast, Port St. Lucie is a place people want to call home. This partnership is about more than sports. It truly is about more than sports. It's an investment in our city's future, in our economy, and in our identity as a community that dreams big and delivers on those dreams. Because here in Port St. Lucie, like I mentioned previously, when residents speak, we listen, and we make promises and we keep them. Locally and around the country, youth sports have trended onward and upward, not only in participation, but also in popularity. And now this project provides a pathway for our young athletes to grow through the ranks right here in our backyard. Everything we do today is about what comes next, about the generations who will carry this city forward. And I see that future in so many of the young athletes that are here today. Together, we are creating something that brings people together, something so special, something that strengthens our city's next chapter and inspires pride across Port St. Lucie and our Treasure Coast. So thank you all, and congratulations to each and every one of you who have helped make the Port St. Lucie Sports Club a reality. And at this time, I would like to invite Daniel Holman, the United Soccer League's Chief Operating Officer, to say a few words.
But today, we see it come to fruition, a dream, an American soccer dream.
You know, the words we hear more than anything else is thank you. Thank you for bringing this to us, for bringing this to our community.
Thank you, Mayor Martin. It's a pleasure to be here today. The best part of my job is that I get to visit communities like this to announce new franchises, new clubs, and today we're thrilled to bring a USL League One club to Port St. Lucie. Soccer's experiencing an unprecedented momentum right now in the US, and as the fandom grows, USL is growing alongside it. With almost 50 professional active clubs this season and more than a dozen due to start over the next few years, the USL is the largest and fastest growing soccer organisation in the country. We're bringing more professional soccer clubs to more cities because we believe every community deserves a club of their own to support and a stadium to call home. I want to thank the Mayor, the City Council members and all the city leaderships for your vision and leadership to support bringing professional soccer to the Treasure Coast. I also want to thank Mr. Suarez and the rest of the ownership group for their desire, passion, investment and tenacity to bring something game-changing to the city of Port St. Lucie. At its essence, the USL is a community-driven and based league with clubs that make a tremendous difference to their cities. Bringing a USL club to a growth city like Port St. Lucie accelerates economic momentum, civic pride, talent attraction, and cultural vibrancy. These are all ingredients for sustainable growth. Port St. Lucie is an excellent addition to our growing USL League One. The Treasure Coast is a vibrant, growing, and diverse region with a soccer culture already in place. When this club is ready to kick off, there will already be built-in regional rivalries for you to take on. Naples FC having an excellent first season in our league, and both with Sarasota Paradise and Fort Lauderdale United due to kick off in the near future. When you add Tampa, Homestead in Miami, and Jacksonville, you can see the footprint in Florida is very strong. Rivalries are what makes coming to a match so exciting. What also brings excitement are games of consequence. And in the next few years, USL will be adding a Division 1 league with promotion and relegation to come. This structure will create a fully integrated three-tier professional pathway within USL's ecosystem. By implementing promotion and relegation, the USL is aligning with the global soccer model and reinforcing our commitment to long-term growth, player development, and fan engagement. Every match matters, from the first kick to the final whistle, making the season-long action ever more thrilling for fans, players, and clubs alike. Whether you're fighting for promotion or battling to avoid relegation, the excitement unfolds from day one, creating deeper emotional connections, stronger rivalries, and an overall more thrilling experience. Every soccer club needs a place to call home. And so we're also very excited about the opportunity that will lend to Port St. Lucie's future success, its new planned stadium. Building a new soccer stadium within Walton One presents the perfect opportunity to bring family-friendly sports options to this vibrant development while delivering a first-rate experience for its fans. The location in Walton One is ideal because the fan journey for soccer fans is unique to other major sports. Soccer fans like to go out before the match and after the match, and being located in a vibrant district will provide plenty of options for our fans. This club is the catalyst to future development. And we like to call our stadiums community living rooms because our aim is for them to serve as a hub, a place for everyone to come together to root for their own team and represent their community. In addition to being a source of pride, we like to program our stadiums year-round with not just professional soccer matches, but also to host other sporting events, amateur and youth tournaments, concerts, festivals, and other community events. This additional programming helps drive the foot traffic that allows businesses to thrive. With the World Cup headed to North America next year, the momentum in soccer is experiencing now will only continue to grow. This club, this city, and the entire region are in an ideal position to benefit from this momentum. Again, I'm thrilled to be with you here today to celebrate all of this. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing this club grow and become part of the social fabric of Port St. Lucie. A club for all ages in a city for all ages. And now, I have the pleasure of introducing a member of our newest club's ownership to the podium. Please welcome from Port St. Lucie Sports Club, Agostino Galimberti.
We are Port St. Lucie, a community full of pride, passion, and dreams. Here we grow, here we feel, here we live every day. Today, that spirit becomes history. The city's first professional soccer club is born. A team that represents everyone. Those who built the city, and the new generations who call Port St. Lucie home. This isn't just a club. It's a symbol of identity, unity, and future. It's a team that carries on its jersey the strength of our people, the hope of our families, and the pursuit of glory. Port St. Lucie SC isn't just a team. It's a movement, a flag that unites us, a voice that represents us. We are Port St. Lucie SC, pride of the city.
Imagine a full stadium, 20,000 fans cheering. Imagine our boys and girls training here, in their own city, with the chance to reach the highest level. Imagine entire families enjoying a place that didn't exist before, and that now will become part of our identity. Imagine telling the world this happens in Port St. Lucie. When you think of Port St. Lucie, you think of hard work, community, and future. This project was born from that, from the desire to grow, from the courage to dream big, and from the unity of people who want to leave a mark. Today, we're not just presenting a soccer club, we're presenting a dream that's becoming reality, a dream that no longer belongs to a few, but to an entire city. This is not just a team, it's a flag, a meeting point, a legacy. It's the opportunity to show that this city can dream big and make it real. For years, we have worked to reach this moment, and today, it's no longer just plans or ideas. Today, it's bricks, grass, lights, and above all, hope. And we want to make something clear. This club doesn't belong only to those who found it or represent it today. This club belongs to the city, to every family who wants the opportunity for their children, to every young person who dreams of wearing a professional jersey, to every neighbor who believes in the future of Port St. Lucie. History teaches us that great changes begins with a single step, and today we're taking that step. What comes next will forever shape the identity of our city. We want that years from now, when you walk into the stadium with your children or grandchildren, you can say, I was there the day it all began. Because today, we're not just launching a club, we're planting a legacy. Port St. Lucie will be remembered as the city that dared to dream big, and we will give everything every day to be worthy of that trust. Thank you to the city of Port St. Lucie for making this possible, and especially to its leader, for guiding us with vision and commitment. We're truly fortunate to have people like you leading this community moving forward. Thank you as well to the USL for believing in this project and standing with us every step of the way. And thank you once again to its city for allowing us to dream, to build, and to be part of its story. They say the best is yet to come. We're not going to wait for it. We're going to create it and build it together. Thank you all. Now I would like to give back the podium to Jennifer.
Thank you, Agustina, and to the USL. So we've heard from the mayor, we've heard from USL, and we've heard from the team. But I want to take the opportunity to give our city council the moment to say a few words. When we had those meetings, they kept their conversations to the stadium itself, and we do want them to be able to reflect on the opportunity of professional soccer coming to Port St. Lucie. So with that, I will turn it over to the vice mayor for comment.
For the first time, I don't want to go first. I just want to, you said a lot of great things up here, and I have no prepared comments. But one of the things that you did say is that we dream big. And I go back to our residents. It's because of our residents we dream big. They push us so hard to do and create these humongous dreams for them. And I can't tell you, as a member of this community who has raised a family and is still raising a family here, how blessed and honored we are to have the USL, partners like Port St. Lucie Club, Gustavo and his family, everyone in here, believing in our city. Because every member on this board isn't here just to serve in a political office. We are here because we truly believe in the vision, and that Port St. Lucie is not just the greatest of the 411 cities in the state of Florida. We are the greatest city in this nation. And it is because of the people in this room. It is because of our 253,000 residents. It is because of every member of our city staff. This stuff doesn't happen by happenstance. People don't come here because just one day they woke up and they said, I just think I'm going to show up to Port St. Lucie. They see the magic in our city. They believe in the people that are here. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to admit, I'm not going to say I'm not a soccer fan. I don't know the game of soccer. You're going to be teaching me the game of soccer, but not just me. You're going to be teaching generations upon generations. And one day, maybe when I'm old, somewhere in a nursing home, I pray that I'm going to see a major league player come out of this stadium, and I can say, this city, and I was sitting there, and I was a part of it, but so are every one of you who are listening to my voice today. And so I'm looking so forward to being a part of this. We are partners. Everyone in here is cheering you on. And I just look forward to seeing how we can help you further and make this the greatest club in the nation. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. God bless you. God bless you guys back there. Thank you.
Well, as a Yankee fan, I'm glad to have a professional sports team I can root for in Port St. Lucie. I'm just kidding. I love the St. Lucie Mets, but this is truly a huge day for our city here in Port St. Lucie. I can't wait to take my son and my daughters to games. I'm just so proud of the city. For too long, we were the example of what not to do. And today I can gladly say that we are the shining city in the state of Florida of what to do, not only in this, but in so many ways. And I'm just incredibly proud for our city. I'm incredibly proud of the economic benefits that are going to be coming to our community. I'm incredibly proud of the cultural boost that this is going to be, the boost to our businesses, and there's just so many things to be proud of, so much potential, so much opportunity. Thank you all for working with us to make this dream a reality.
I'm glad we finally get to talk about it. It's been a long time coming. And I sat here today as a father and a grandfather and raising kids and teaching them baseball. That's our family, we're a baseball family. But now sitting up there and looking out at these little kids that now have an opportunity to play in a sport that they want to play in and possibly play professional sports right here in the city they grew up in, that is huge. And it was 1988 when the Mets came here. So it's been many years coming that Port St. Lucie gets a professional sports team. So United Soccer League, welcome to Port St. Lucie. Thank you.
So you think you don't understand soccer, you should try to understand rugby. It's even worse. So my husband, as many of you know, my husband being from England, I've been watching football for many, many years, and it is amazing to now have it right here in our front yard, backyard, side yard, in our yard. So welcome to the family. This is so exciting, and I'm so excited to see so many of the residents here, especially bringing their families to hear the announcement. And it is, hey, and I love the name, which you haven't announced yet. I thought there was more.
The anchors.
I thought there was more. So I'll sign off now as your Captain Morgan.
Can always count on Captain Morgan for some good comments. Thank you for that. Thank you, Council. Appreciate, again, this was under confidentiality for a long time, so it's really nice to be able to talk publicly about this, not just with you, but with the public. So we're excited about that. And I do see a lot of youth here, and we're excited that they're here today. Again, that journey that they're going to be on with us. We're going to transition right now for some questions and answers session with the press. But after that, we will be inviting our dignitaries up for a photo opportunity, and we would like the youth to come up as well for that. So I will open it up now to the press for any questions that you might have. Sure. Augustina, would you like to discuss the timeline of the project?
Hello, thank you for your question. For the timeline, we're expecting to have a sum of our project is based on 2026, and for the end, 2027. We're expecting to have that timeline.
So will the team be playing before the stadium is built?
That is something, if I answer that question, my marketing team will kill me, because we have everything settled for showing that in the meantime.
My questions relate more to infrastructure. We're saying after 2026 and the World Cup fever pitch, how will the stadium continue operating with and without the soccer team?
So if you'd like to reflect on operations off-season when there isn't soccer, things that'll be going on.
Our idea with this stadium is that it's not our stadium, it's the city's stadium. So we want to have a lot of teams playing there, events, concerts, and there are a lot of things that we want that stadium to be part of the city, not just the home of the soccer team, it's the home of Port St. Lucie.
As I understand some of the statements, that Mr. McKean could answer that question.
Well, as Peppa alluded to, the opportunity to have a stadium right here on US 1 will literally transform the east side of the city. So it's not just a soccer stadium, concert venue, special events, maybe even cultural events with outdoor plays and things, outdoor theater and things of that nature. So it really is an endless opportunity to provide a multitude of various activities for residents and visitors to draw visitors into the city of Port St. Lucie.
But how will that impact local drainage and waterways, say for instance the Hog Fence Slough?
I am sure it will go through the full gamut of review by our professional engineering staff, both city and professional consultants. They'll take all that into account.
If I may, just so I was speaking to the city manager earlier this morning, and when you look at the United Soccer League across the country, you know, this type of development is what is happening all around the nation. So he was in Spokane, Washington, where we have a club. We have a men's and a women's club in Spokane, Washington, and they have built a 5,500-seat stadium. You can think of it as a multi-purpose stadium where the primary tenant is a soccer team. That's the best way to look at it, because it's become this community living room where there are, you know, 150 events throughout the year, because they have the men's professional team, the women's professional team. I think they actually have 4 high school teams playing there. They've had comedy shows, concerts, festivals, graduations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, the best way to look at this is becoming a hub as a sports and entertainment district for your community.
Will there
Thank you.
be men's and women's teams playing here in Port St. Lucie?
My marketing team will kill me, but yes.
The great thing with the USL is that we offer integrated pathways from youth to pro on both sides, both for women's and men's. And so that means there could be multiple options available. Obviously, this announcement's for a League One team on the men's side. However, again, when you look at our women's side of things, we have both pre-professional and professional leagues as well on that side.
Question for the mayor. So for those of us who've been around for a long time, like yourself, who've watched this plot of land sit, just how excited are you that you're going to be creating, and I don't know if you want to use the phrase a new downtown, that was kind of what people used years ago. What did you see this transformation?
So as you know, as many people know, we've had a master plan in effect for many years now, and it was a matter of finding the right fit in order to figure out what the catalyst would be for the future development. And so this soccer stadium and the partnership with USL and Port St. Lucie Sports Club will be exactly that. We will be able to see the stadium come to life, and then we're going to see the mix of uses come to life as well in terms of retail, commercial, office, hotels. That has been the plan all along, and that's what we're going to see happen right here in Walton One.
Yeah, so Madam Mayor and Mr. Morejo, how closely does that stadium align with those plans, say, going back to the turn of the millennium, say, for instance, the 2001 master plan? How does that co-align with those past plans as opposed to present?
So there are uses in the old plan that are in the plan today, obviously, because the idea was to make it more of a downtown-type destination. And so it does align with the added benefits of the sports stadium and the partnership with U.S. Soccer.
Have you made any revenue projections as of late?
So we have an entire sheet with regard to the economic development investment in the community, and so we can provide that to you.
Mayor, are there other developers ready, seeing this, to come in with those retail and housing projects?
Jen, would you like to?
Sure. So as we've been analyzing this project over the last 2 years, we've fielded lots of inquiries from residential and commercial developers, from hotels. We've kind of kept them in the queue, so we know that after this announcement happened, we would be able to continue discussions with them. So we do anticipate the first phase that'll come out would be a hotel component, because we do understand how important that is with the stadium to have a hotel with first floor restaurants, and then we'll build from there.
And again, just the stadium will open 27, 28?
My understanding is that their plan is to have it open for the 2027 season. That's my,
Kick off.
in the spring of 2027.
How many games will be played?
So every season varies a little bit, but you can think of having around 17 to 20 home games a season, depending on playoffs, etc. That's just on the men's side.
And when does the season start?
The season runs March through to end of October with the final in November.
Round robin or one-seed elimination?
The playoffs, which are due to start very shortly, are knockout currently. However, as we bring in promotion relegation, we're looking at all the different alternatives for that, right? Because it's going to be based on sporting merit, and we have to balance the American culture in terms of playoffs with the European soccer culture in terms of kind of the promotion relegation aspect. So currently, it is a knockout format for the playoffs. Yes.
So where will Port St. Lucie start in the sport hierarchy?
Yeah, good question. So in USL, we have USL Championship. So we have clubs in Tampa, Jacksonville, and Miami, or Homestead. And then in USL League One, where Port St. Lucie will sit, we'll have Naples, Sarasota, Fort Lauderdale. And again, as I said, over the next couple of years, as we bring in promotion relegation, you have this interconnectivity. So based on sporting merit, Port St. Lucie could rise into the same league as Tampa and Jacksonville, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Sacramento, et cetera, et cetera.
Can you explain that just to our audience who might not be familiar with the way that soccer/football works? And
Yes.
that way, how many teams at the top of League One could move to the championship the next season?
That hasn't been decided yet, and it's something we are looking and evaluating with, in speaking with our board of governors of the clubs. But the reality is that, to start with, Port St. Lucie will be a League One club. We will have, starting in 26, we should have 20 clubs in League One. We have 24 in Championship, with 2 starting next season. And as I said, we've got about a dozen others already contracted to start over the next coming seasons. And your question about when will it start, all of these clubs are contingent on stadium development.
So in other words, Port St. Lucie might not play in spring of 2026, it should play in spring of 2027?
The earliest it would start would be spring of 2027.
Let me add to that. We started in League One. We want to be in Championship, for sure.
Yeah, I can tell this ownership group is very focused on the sporting success. So, and the one thing I will say to Vice Mayor, you mentioned earlier about you not necessarily being a soccer fan, and that's okay, because this is more than soccer. Yes. This is about providing family-friendly, affordable entertainment that becomes part of the social fabric and culture of Port St. Lucie. Mm-hmm. I live in Tampa. I take my girlfriend and her friends, they go to Tampa Bay Rowdies. They don't like soccer, but you know what they do love? They love Tampa. They love their city. And I'm sure you feel the same about Port St. Lucie. So it's about providing amenities and entertainment and something to feel prideful about. This isn't someone else's team. This is your team. This is your club.
But in regards to that team, how would you attract international talent?
So we are a national footprint, and players are internationally sourced, nationally sourced, and regionally sourced. So if you look at our footprint of clubs, I don't have the exact number on me, so literally don't quote me on this. But you can look at our footprint of players, and they are international. In excess of 80, 90 different countries across our clubs.
Let me add to that. Our team we have a lot of people international that have played and also been coach of international teams, like Juan Ignacio Brown, he's there. He had played professionally. He is the son of Tata Brown. He had played with Maradona. So we have a lot of people in the team that could help for that. De nada.
Ms. Galberti, what was it about your group that saw something in Port St. Lucie? You guys probably could have invested anywhere within the USL. Why did you guys say, this looks to be the match for us?
I'm not gonna lie, we have been spoken with a lot of cities, but when we first talked with the city, we felt something different. Like, you can hear them talking. They want to make sure that they give everything for the city. So we said, we want the same thing. Let's go here. We see the city, we see the potential, and you can see the numbers. The numbers don't lie. This city is growing, and it has a potential to be one of the best cities in the nation, like the city said. So we want that, and we think that aligns with what we want and what the city wants. So we saw the city, and it was a perfect match.
Was that explosion of Inter Miami and Fort Lauderdale in the World Cup coming to South Florida, was that really just put all the pieces together?
I mean, soccer's already here, right? It's already scaling. And, you know, I've been in this great country for 25 years now. I'm a citizen. I know my accent doesn't sound like it right now. I can't even copy an American accent. So, you know, soccer is here. It's scalable. I'm old enough to remember the 1994 World Cup. My dad lives in Santa Monica. I went to about 5-6 games that World Cup. There was no professional league in this country then. And you had 40 million people turned on to soccer who the next month couldn't go and watch anything. Now we have all of these clubs in these local communities, and so for next year, like I'm expecting watch parties to happen here in Port St. Lucie, right? And you know, it's really exciting to me that you're going to get another, you know, probably tens of millions of people who maybe haven't had that direct connection with soccer watching the World Cup, and then literally they'll be able to walk down the street and watch their own local club. And that's what really excites me, because for me it's about building legacies in these mid-sized, smaller communities where the soccer can be more impactful than maybe these bigger metropoles like New York and LA, etc. And you know, I think there's a wonderful opportunity and the time is right.
We'll take the last question, though, and then we'll transition. They'll be available for questions afterward.
I just want to ask Mr. Tesh a question. From an economic standpoint, you're bringing in another professional sports franchise. How does this impact the county, not just the city?
John, you heard the mayor talk about the tremendous economic impact that the stadium and the team is going to bring. So I think it's really important to also look at the community benefits just beyond the actual economic factors. So Port St. Lucie, as the vice mayor mentioned, is a growing city. There's a lot going on with tourism, hospitality, and also other sports, as our sports commissioner can attest to. So this is just the growing of the pie and bringing more economic prosperity, and most important, both on a cultural and entertainment basis, that's really going to enrich not only Port St. Lucie County, but this particular area here.
Thank you. So the stadium itself, the renderings will be released at some point in the future. They're still in design, but it will integrate into the master plan for Walton One, which is a vibrant district of, you know, upwards of, you know, 6 to 10-story buildings with retail and restaurants on the first floor. You've got residential and hotels, so it will be a part of a vibrant, we'll call it, we won't use downtown, we'll say destination. This will be a destination for Walton One. So with that, we're going to conclude the question and answer session. I'd like to invite the mayor back up to say a few final words, and then we are going to do a photo op.
So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this morning, and take a moment to thank the United Soccer League, the Port St. Lucie Sports Club, members of our City Council, members of our County Commission, and all the distinguished guests and dignitaries for being here today, supporting this exciting new chapter right here in Port St. Lucie. And be sure to stay tuned to the city's official website and social media pages for updates as the project moves forward. This isn't the end here, this is just the beginning, and we're gonna see several steps in the process and more announcements to be made in the future. And so at this time, I'd like to invite our delegation, our team, and elected officials to join me at the front of the stage for a photo, and invite everyone outside to the stadium site. Thank you. And this is the future home of Port St. Lucie Sports Club.